Paula Thuris with another episode of Fearless Singer. And today I'm solo and I'm riffing on the idea of the law of assumption and the power of I am statements and how we can apply that to our singing and our creative goals and get to them a lot faster. Now, I'm going to give some examples from my own life, but my goal for this episode is to condense it into at least 10 minutes. So let's see how I go. Because the concepts are relatively simple. But once you start applying them and learning how to apply them, oh my goodness, it's honestly, it's so transformative. So the law of assumption basically means that you get this idea of, what you want in your life. So it could be, I want to be a gigging singer. I just want to be performing on a regular basis. Okay, so then you go, all right, well then what attributes would I need to become this? Okay, well, I need to be working on my voice daily. That could look like simple exercises. That could be collecting repertoire that you want to perform. It could be about learning a new song every week. So you think about all the things, I guess, that you would need to be doing. And then also attributes like, well, I need self-confidence because at the moment I don't think I could do that just yet. I need to be confident. I would need to be assertive. I need to feel at ease communicating with other musicians or venues. So making like a list of all those things that you'd be doing, also attributes you would need as this gigging, singer. Then you act as if. So you just assume those things. So it could be that you literally do a 10-minute warm-up every day. It could mean that, every day you're working towards building your set list. So it could be finding songs that you actually would want to perform and yet creating a playlist on Spotify, Apple Music. By the way, which is handy, especially when you want to work with other musicians, you can just send them your playlist. It could also mean finding the charts, so the actual sheet music. So doing those little daily actions also is going to help increase your level of confidence because you're working towards it. It's at the forefront of your mind. It's your passion project. So this only serves to consolidate and to really reinforce this belief of I am a singer. I'm a gigging singer. And that's the other thing. You want to back up with all these daily action steps, you want to back it up with affirmation work. You want to put Post-it notes around you saying, I am this, I'm a singer, I'm a gigging singer, I'm successful. And, obviously your own version of success. And then you tell people that that's what you do. You may even be an accountant. It doesn't matter. You can say that later, but the first thing should be, well, I'm a singer. That's what I do. I'm a singer and, this is what I'm working on at the moment. I'm working towards this particular project. And look, that takes a little bit of practice and it does feel a bit wonky when you first do it. You're like, it's not quite true. But it will be true. This is the thing. The more you tell yourself that I am this, you back it up with daily action, the quicker you're going to get to your result. Now, why does this work? It's actually super practical. It's, there may be a little bit of mystical woo there, but actually it's just really getting out of your own way and doing the work required, to get yourself to where you need to go. And when you keep the steps quite tangible and small and achievable, basically it grows legs. Like after a while you go, you start small, it builds momentum. And I've spoken about this before. And then all of a sudden you're like, 15 songs. And you're like, how the frig did that actually happen? And this is the other thing too, that expression when it comes to luck, that luck is just opportunity, that meeting up with preparation. Well, once you have these 15 songs, all of a sudden, I don't know, you're talking to such and such at a party or a work do or wherever you are, and they have, a brother or a cousin or a sister that is like a great guitarist or a piano player, and they're looking for a singer. Or one of my students goes to a regular jam night that now has eventuated into it's not only regular, but they actually do gigs, and she is also working with one of the guitarists, and they will be doing gigs together. So, and she started in the same place of just like, I'm not a singer. I work in the government. I've got a good voice. I go to singing lessons, but she didn't identify fully as a singer, but now she is, and she's doing some really, really cool stuff. So, yeah, it's the power of, it's the law of assumption. So just finding the attributes of whatever it is that you want to achieve and assuming them and just doing it, getting out of your own way, doing the action steps and allowing that to grow, and always affirming that that's what you are. I am a singer. I am a singer. I'm a creative. I'm an artist. I'm a writer. I'm a successful creative entrepreneur. I am whatever it is that you want. And look, if you're interested, read a book by Wayne Dyer called The Power of I Am, which goes into more depth as to why it is so powerful to say I am something. And I've spoken about this before on podcast on this podcast. That took a little while. This idea of our beliefs about ourselves becomes our reality. What we believe to be true becomes our reality. So why not, reframe the things that don't serve us anymore, and focus on the things that what we want. If that is the truth, that our beliefs shape our reality, well then let's believe the things that we want to see in our world. And the way we reinforce those beliefs, I love this analogy of, the table. So the belief is like the top of the table, and then we need to find evidence to support that. So the evidence is the legs of the table. So evidence could be like that daily action. Evidence could be, such and such would never give a compliment and says I have a lovely voice. Or it could be, Mel thinks I've got potential to do this and she really believes in me. Like that, use that as evidence. And I'm not kidding you. There is not one single student of mine that could not have success on stage. Every single one of my students who comes to me, and it doesn't matter what background they're coming from, they may have never done music in their life. I guarantee you every single one would have, if they wanted to, they could have success on a stage. So, find that evidence to support that belief. Now, is self-doubt going to creep in? Bloody oaths, it's going to. Of course, that's just life. That's just our human brain. And to be fair, that's how we're wired to survive. We're always looking for potential danger. That's in our prehistoric brain, that's how we're wired. Of course, something's going to come in and go, come on, mate, you can't do this. But, talk to yourself. I've said this so many times. Coach yourself. Treat yourself the same way that you'd treat a loved one that you really want to encourage. And, talk to that voice and actually listen to it and go, okay, thank you for sharing, but I'm not going to take that on today. I'm just going to focus on this song, getting this song down. And listen, there might be a song that might be super challenging. Remember, you don't have to learn it in a day. You don't have to learn it in a day. You don't have to know it in a day. Give yourself some time to learn those big songs, but also choose songs, if you are building a rep list for gigging, choose songs that are achievable, because that will help you feel like, I'm moving along nicely. Have your couple of, big numbers that you're working on and you're just chipping away at. Listen, if you told me that I had to sing Respect, R-E-S-P-E-C-T, Aretha Franklin, tonight, I'm telling you now, I don't think I could do it. You know, I need at least a few days to be able to pull that off. And I have told the story of how I did kind of cram it for one gig. I just life got in the way, and then suddenly I was like, oh no, I have to sing that song. And I woke up the next morning. I was like, I've got a choice. I can just really you know, listen to it like crazy and practice it as much as I can without hurting my voice. Or I can make it into comedy, turn it into comedy, which, by the way, is always an option. It's not cheating. It's, you know, you're still, at the end of the day, you're still being entertaining for an audience. So yeah, I just, you know, then I did kind of cram a little bit. So maybe, look, it is currently 2:54. I can tell you now, I would not be able to sing that tonight at 6 o'clock. If it was, I don't know, a bit later maybe. I don't know. Anyway, I digress. So the power of I am. I use it constantly in my own life. Constantly. You know, as I'm growing fearless singer, you know, limiting beliefs come up and I have to challenge them, and then I need to affirm, no, I am a successful coach. I have a thriving community. And then I back that up with consistent action. I record a podcast. I learn a song, or I do something, you know, to provide value for people in the Fearless Singer community. And, you know, and I have actually had to do this in my own life in relation to my singing, because I you know, sang a lot as a kid. Then in my late teens, early 20s, I sort of fell out of it a bit. So I wasn't singing constantly, and I didn't feel particularly musical. If I told someone I was a singer, it felt like it was a bit of a lie. So I had to work on that and get back into that mode again, get music at the forefront of my brain. That's what I do. I, you know, joined bands here in Brisbane. And then when I went to London, I also joined a band, and I also took piano lessons, jazz piano lessons. And then I was faced with a choice. At 27, I had been overseas, came back to Australia, and I had a choice. I could have kept going down, you know, the route of working in corporate communications, or take that big, bold risk and study music, which I'm so grateful that I did, you know, because it's brought me to where I am today. But also, too, after I finished my studying, there was a point where, and also, too, when I finished teaching, I did a teaching degree, and I was a teacher, a classroom teacher. There was also a point again where I wasn't singing as much as what I wanted to. One thing I did is I kept Fearless Singer going. I was so bloody tired. I would, you know, teach a full day of classroom, and then, you know, put my foot on the pedal to get home in time to teach till quite late. And also, too, even though it killed me to do gigs because I was so tired. I did it because I knew that there was this moment where it wasn't happening. I wasn't doing it. It was a bit of a lull. I was just doing the teaching, and don't get me wrong, I love teaching. But I knew that I had to get back into gigging again, because I have to talk the talk. I can't, you know, I can't be Fearless Singer and tell people how to become a fearless singer without actually doing the singing. And, you know, so yeah, I've had to use the same principle. What is it that I need to, what qualities do I need to assume? What personality traits, and what are the consistent daily actions that I need to do? Anyhow, so that's that. And listen, if any of this resonates, please, please, please send me a message. You can email me at hello@fearlesssinger.com, DM me on Instagram or on Facebook. If any of this, you know, hits home to you, you've used it before and you've gone, yeah, this actually works, let me know. I'd love to hear your story. I always love to hear from you. The other pieces of news is I'm not www.fearlesssinger.com.au anymore. this isn't very riveting breaking news. I'm actually just fearlesssinger.com just to make things, super easy. So there's that I have to tell you. The other thing is the Singing Manifestations 101 class was amazing last week. Honestly, it was such a beautiful night. And a lovely group of women that were involved in that. We did a lot of tapping, so EFT, emotional freedom technique. So we released a lot of old narratives. And we sang affirmations of what we wanted to bring into our life. And also, I have this really cool meditation that I do, guided meditation called Meet Your Voice Entity. And it's super powerful. It's this whole idea of like your voice being like having its own sort of personality, its own spirit, and going to meet it to, basically tap in and ask, what is it that you need to, I guess, bring into the world in terms of, your voice, your message, your service. So it's really powerful and it's just, it's good to kind of see your voice as this separate being that, it's really important to love and take care of it and nurture it because our voice is super powerful. Whatever we speak, whatever we say has the power to create or it has the power to destroy. That's quite a big statement, but it's true. We can create worlds with our voices. We can bring somebody up with our voice or we can bring them down. So it's really important that we look after our voice. We're always nurturing it. We're being kind to it. We want to speak love to it. We want to speak love to ourselves, so that we can continue, living a really nice life and keep being a kind person to all those people around us who we love. And that was really, 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 really cool. There will be more of those. I might call it something different because I really want to get into teaching more when it comes to emotional freedom technique. It's like one of the most powerful modalities that I've ever learned and used daily, and it's honestly changed my life. So that, and also in the next few weeks, myself and a colleague, Steph Taylor, who is an incredible jazz singer, educator. She's an incredible singing teacher. We're actually going to be teaching a jazz workshop for high school students here in West End at a Hepper Hall. It's going to be 2 days of learning jazz, but also how to take, pop songs, R&B, soul, and then, put more of a jazz twist on it. The kids will be learning about their voices and how to use it, take care of it. In the end, they will have the opportunity, if they want to work with a band. So we're going to have a performance. The whole idea of it is to, just really instill the love of jazz into the young ones, brainwash the young ones into loving jazz. Basically, and also brainwashing them into loving themselves. It's going to be very much about, building confidence and, learning to love their voices at the same time. So, that's my news. For my current singing students, watch out for an email about next year. So I've got a really exciting, very, very exciting idea for all of us, how you can continue singing lessons with me, but also be more a part of this community. So watch out for a really cool email around that, and lots of love to you all. Thanks for listening.